including the go-ahead three with less than a minute left in the game. All this came without, again, Kyrie Irving, who missed his 7th straight game for Brooklyn. So, Shannon, how much of a problem will it be fitting Kyrie in with Durant and Harden when he does return?
Skip, I think it's going to be extremely difficult. I really do. I never doubted that two great players can play together, especially when one's a big and the other's a small. I never doubted that for 1 second. It's that when you throw that third component in there, when you throw a third component in there, Skip, somebody is going to have to sacrifice major shots, major points. We saw it with Chris Bosh when he went with the big three down with D. Wade and LeBron. We saw it with Kevin Love when he joined with Kyrie. Now, we look at Klay Thompson. Klay Thompson is very different than Kyrie. Klay Thompson doesn't need the ball. Klay Thompson is a catch-and-shoot guy. So he can run. He's going to run around and boom, let you have it. Kyrie, in order for you to get the best out of Kyrie, he needs the ball. But if you give him the ball, you're going to take it away from James Harden and KD. James Harden is a better point guard than Kyrie because James Harden has led this league in assists. James Harden is typically around 8-9 assists a game since he's been in Houston. I don't know how this thing is going to work, Skip. I really don't. That's my concern. I'm not worried about James and KD. James and KD looks better than Kyrie and KD, and we thought Kyrie and KD looked spectacular in the little bit that we saw them. They look like this. And James Harden, I don't know if he had a fat suit on. I don't know what happened. He was pounding, Skip, but look here. The one thing we always knew about James Harden, he could put the ball in the hoop. And it seems to be now he's rejuvenated like, man, I really got a chance to get to an NBA Finals. Oh, let me show you what I can do. Skip, he's been spectacular since he's been there. And that's why I said the last 4 games of Houston, James Harden was bull jiving. Because we all know what James Harden could do, Skip. James Harden, when did James Harden not like to shoot the ball? And now all of a sudden he want to shoot the ball 10 times a game and he good. Nah, bro. But Skip, that's my concern. Kyrie comes back. Now what is Kyrie going to be? What's he going to do? And also defensively, Kyrie's going to make them even smaller. Now, they're 15th rated defensive team. Now, it's going to be a struggle for them stopping, but they can light you up. They're probably going to have to win games like they won them last night, Skip, somewhere between 120 and 140. The question is, are the teams going to be able to get to those numbers? But this game going back and forth last night was unbelievable. I want to know one more thing, Skip, before I turn it over to you. Why Giannis only got the 1 shot in the last 6 minutes of the game?
Don't know. Oh. Maybe because he didn't have much of a repertoire to create his own shots, right?
Yep.
I'm going to give you this. Kyrie's return could cause a big problem. But if I am Steve Nash or Mike D'Antoni, the coaches of this team, that would be the kind of problem I would welcome.
Oh, you want them problems, huh?
Because too much talent, I can live with that. I can try to figure that one out. Not enough talent, nope, sorry, can't figure that one out. I can't fix that one if I'm a coach. So this much has come clear to me so far. Our man Chris Broussard the other day was exactly on point with this and ahead of this curve. And I had not, I'll be the first to admit, thought about this because it seemed that it would fall into 1, 2, 3. Right. Kyrie the 1, James the 2, and Kevin the 3, 4, 5. Right? No, Chris said, have you thought about this? Maybe James is the point guard. James is a really good point guard.
Yeah.
And it was significant to me that last night after the game, he said on TNT in the interview, you probably don't listen to the sound, but he said, I'm having to work on my point guard skills now. Oh, bingo.
Right.
So you are the point guard. Well, all he is averaging 11 assists so far. That's including the time in Houston.
Right.
This year he's averaged 11 assists. For some weird reason, he hasn't quite qualified to be the assist leader, but nobody is averaging 11 assists. He could, once he's done it before, he's led the league in assists. He's got another shot to do it this year. In fact, I think he will lead this league in assists, right? He also has led this league in steals, but that's another issue because on defense, he is a disruptor.
Right.
So they're playing better defense than you might think because they disrupt you.
He's not the typical what we would call an on-ball defender.
Not on ball.
But he's going to steal, he's going to get in lanes and deflect and get the steal.
And the other great thing about James Harden is, despite his overweight, despite the look, with the beard, he looks older than he is. That's just me. Makes him look old manish to me. But he plays his tail off. I got to tell you, he does. Because, remember, he was third last year in loose balls recovered. So you got to be playing with some energy, man, as they always talk about. We didn't have enough energy.
He played 41 minutes last night.
He loves to play. So if we could see the shot of shots last night made by the best player on the planet, Kevin Durant, what happened before the shot of shots? Watch what happens. Okay, so James gets the shot, and he misses it. Guess who went and got the rebound? James, and he dishes it right to the best player on the planet, Mr. Clutch, two-time Finals MVP, nothing but nets, because the NBA has turned into nothing but nets. So the point is, look at James go retrieve his own rebound. There are $5 standing around, and remember, he's having to deal all night with Drew Holiday, who's a really good perimeter defender.
Yeah.
And James is just toying with him. I'm sorry, you can't stop him.
No, Skip. Hey, you just got to load up on him.
You just got, because when he feels like it, it's just da-da-da-da-da. I'm in the lane.
Yeah. He going to dribble on you.
Okay.
Then you got to worry about his step back. Then you got to worry about him getting the floater.
But he started off the game, he drove it, and just with his right hand, he acted like he was ambidextrous, which I think he is, and he just laid it up off the glass with the right hand. It looked so routine and normal, and I'm like, he's left-handed. Okay, so the point is, they got that going, and Kevin is going to be fine no matter what the situation is because he just plays. It's just like, give me a few touches, and I'll get you 30.
Skip, the dude, I mean, you see him, I mean, he gets like 2 dribbles, and he just pulls up. I mean, Chris Middleton is not a bad defender.
No.
But you just can't block a 10-foot, a guy that's shooting the ball at 10, 11 feet.
He's 7 feet tall.
Yes.
And he's long.
Yes. And he ain't shooting, I mean, and he's leaping a little bit. So, I mean, there's nothing you can do. He gets to his spot. There's nothing. You just, hey, coach, I hope he miss it.
Okay.
That's all you got.
So far, I know it's really early, but Kevin Durant is shooting a career-high 54% from the floor and a career-high 48% from 3. That's hard to deal with, okay? So the only thing, the big advantage that I see for Steve Nash is that Kevin and Kyrie are best friends. James and Kevin from the Oklahoma City days are very close friends. Maybe not quite as close as Kyrie and Kevin, but at least you're not throwing in players who don't really know each other.
Well, the thing is, Skip, is that James Harden did have 3 years of playing with Kevin Durant. Now, they were very different players back then, but he understands KD's game. He understands where KD wants the ball, where he needs the ball. And like I said, James has never played with a player like this. Yeah, he's played with some great players. Chris Paul's a great player, Dwight Howard back then, but not like this. You're talking about this is a generational talent. This is transcendent here. And so he's playing with somebody that he clearly believes that he knows, this guy is my equal, if not better than me. This is the first time that James Harden can say that since he's been the James Harden, the beard as we know him, Skip.
I agree.
This is the first time he can honestly say, this dude is on par with me or better than I am.
Okay. Kyrie is going to have to look in the mirror and say, this dude, our new point guard,
he's the
third best player. He's going to have to look in the mirror and say, I'm not as good as James Harden. So help me out here. Does this not give the organization some new leverage on Kyrie?
Yes.
Because if you don't like it.
They didn't want to bring it back because, you know, they didn't want to run the risk of injury. Hell, James Harden missed no burden for 2 weeks and played 48 minutes. He played 38 minutes on the Saturday, I think.
It's hard, man.
Yeah. So
he's a baller. He just wants to play ball.
Sometimes, Skip, you just have to accept your role. I understand you were a great player, Skip. It's like when I went to Baltimore. I understood what I had accomplished in Denver, but I was a different Shannon at that point in time.
Yep. Okay.
Kyrie, at this point in time, you got 2 players on that roster that are better than you. And you're going to have to take, you're going to have to take less shots because the ultimate goal is about winning a title. Now, if you think you're going, I don't see a scenario, Skip, where he's getting 25 and these 2 guys are doing what they're doing. But not if you want to win.
Could Kyrie average 20 a game? I still think he could.
Yeah.
I think he could.
But he's going to have to accept that role, Skip.
I agree. and he's going to have to play off the ball. I think they need to let James dribble the ball up and initiate.
Yes.
He'll be fine with that.
He's gonna have to change, Skip. He's gonna have to change his whole game. He's gonna have to. He's gonna have to almost be like a Klay Thompson.
Catch and shoot. You can ISO for him.
Yeah.
You can let him wheel and deal on somebody. You can let him dance if he wants to on somebody, but it's going to have to be on occasion, on an isolation that's called for him.
Yeah, because you look at Skip, Kevin Love was a 24-14, and he goes all the way down to like 17-9, 17-10. Chris Bosh was a 20-10 guy.
No, but it's funny to me. You're comparing Kyrie Irving to Kevin Love and Chris Bosh.
No, I'm saying you look at what they were before.
I got it.
What they had to become.
Okay, I got it.
Is he willing to do that? Do you believe he's willing to accept a role where he's the third guy? You don't see
deep down, I think he will, but I don't know for sure because he's about as unpredictable as any star in sports.
Yeah.
Like, we don't have anybody less predictable than Kyrie Irving.
Right.
What do you call him, Kanye Irving?
Yeah.
I got it. If he does go south, they have the leverage because they can say, stay south. We're not going to crawl to you. You know, if you don't want to play, we're okay.
So you gonna move him.
Durant and Harden when he does return?
Skip, I think it's going to be extremely difficult. I really do. I never doubted that two great players can play together, especially when one's a big and the other's a small. I never doubted that for 1 second. It's that when you throw that third component in there, when you throw a third component in there, Skip, somebody is going to have to sacrifice major shots, major points. We saw it with Chris Bosh when he went with the big three down with D. Wade and LeBron.